What's up, everybody? I'm Gabe Casper, and this is 3 Minutes or Less. Well, happy Lent! Actually, I don't know if you can say that, but I just did. As of the release of this video, we are officially 1 day into the Christian season of Lent. Now, for those of you not familiar with Lent, it's the 40 days, not counting Sundays, leading up to Easter and the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. And the 40 days are modeled after the 40 years the Israelites spent wandering in the wilderness before they headed into the Promised Land. And it's modeled after the 40 days that Jesus spent in the wilderness praying and fasting and being tempted by the devil in preparation for his public ministry. And so Lent is an invitation into that story, the story of Israel and the story of Jesus, that just as the wilderness was for Israel and for Jesus a time of formation and preparation, Lent is a time for Christians to grow in their spiritual formation and prepare for the joy of life lived in light of the reality of Easter. And so with that in mind, I want to encourage you in this video 3 practices to aid you on your Lenten journey. The first one's simple: prayer. Hopefully you already pray, but perhaps if you don't, 10 out of 10 highly recommend praying. But for those that do pray, I want to encourage you to pray even more during this Lenten season. Increase your prayer life. The best way I've found is to set 3 reminders on my phone. I do 8:30, noon, and 9. Then I take a 5-minute timer and I pray for just 5 minutes those 3 times a day. I encourage you to give that a shot and see how God changes you in prayer. Second practice is fasting. Now, fasting is not just about giving something up. It's about giving something up for a set period of time to better focus on your relationship with God. And so I don't know what that looks like for you. It could be maybe giving up coffee. And whenever you crave a cup, instead of drinking coffee, spend that time thinking on how God is the one in whom all our desires are satisfied. You can give up TV or social media and use that gained time to meditate on the scriptures this season. You can give up meat and recognize that God is the one who provides for all of your needs. Whatever that might look like for you, give it a go this season. It's okay, we're a day in. You can still do it. Third practice I want to encourage is Memento Mori. Memento Mori is Latin for remember that you must die, which is, of course, a somber thought, but inescapably true. And actually, daily reflecting on that reality helps us face death well, and somewhat paradoxically, helps us live life more fully. And so I encourage you to start each day and remember that you're going to die one day. And the purpose in doing that, and the purpose in doing all 3 of these practices during Lent, is to point us to the hope that we have in Christ. That through his death and resurrection, you are forgiven, you are restored to the Father, you are loved by him, and you have the hope of your resurrection from the dead and life eternal with him. And so on account of that, we can say, Happy Lent.